there guys, I just saw the brand new Transformers movie, Rise of the Beast, and I'm still in the movie theater. Now let's talk about it before I get kicked out because it's very late. Roll out, Autobots, and by Autobots, I meant, hey there guys, how are you? I just saw the brand new Transformers movie, Rise of the Beast. This time, we have robots that look like animals, but they more so just look like robots. Yeah. So yeah, it's much more subdued than the previous Michael Bay movies of this franchise, which were very bombastic, over the top, a lot of contrasty imagery and shaky Dutch angles, and the saturation was turned up to 190%, and there was a lot of prepubescent little boy jokes. Yeah, I don't hate the first Michael Bay Transformers flick, but by some of his later installments in the franchise, it just felt like you were chewing on tinfoil for 3 hours. As far as the story of this new movie goes, it's nothing that you haven't already seen 9 other times. I think there's 6 Transformers movies. But either way, this is based on a Saturday morning cartoon for children from the 1980s, and that's okay, I get it. It's not supposed to be this overly dramatic, complex storyline, but it's the same thing we've seen in every Transformers movie. They're chasing this mechanical robotic MacGuffin to save the planet. That is the storyline once again. There's nothing new here. And speaking of the previous Transformers movies, you guys know how those go. You always have some obligatory human characters in the mix fighting alongside the Autobots. That way we have some kind of human relatable dynamic as an audience member to latch onto beside these big robots.
Come and get it.
You brought a human here?
But my point is, in all of those previous Transformers movies, you had characters like Sam Witwicky, a fidgety young boy going, Optimus! And then we got Mark Wahlberg just being Mark Wahlberg, hanging out with robots. Hey Optimus, what are you doing over there? You want a Bud Light or something? But this time around we have a new character named Noah Diaz, a kid from Brooklyn who served in the military for like a couple of years. He came home, he can't quite find a job, he has a heart of gold, but at the same time he's willing to do what it takes to make ends meet. And what does that mean? Well, yeah, he's gonna steal a car, but he's still conflicted about it. But I like characters like that. He's not some squeaky clean Boy Scout or some nerd. No. He seems like a real dude. And I feel like as far as all of the human characters go throughout all of these movies, he's probably my favorite. And my biggest positive for this film, because I don't have many, is they actually did something with this human character in this story where they made him feel like he had a purpose and he was slightly useful. Oh, and speaking of human characters in this movie franchise, they all have to have their companion car, their Autobot that's their buddy. Once it was Bumblebee and Sam Witwicky, this time around it's Mirage, voiced by Pete Davidson. So if you want to hear a robot voiced by Pete Davidson for 2 hours, this is your movie. I thought he was fine, but yeah, Mirage is this really cool silver Porsche. Skynet will come online July 7th, 1997. Hey there guys, by the way, T-800 Endoskeleton, I love that thing. One thing I wanted to add to this review, and by the way, it's the next day, as you can clearly tell I just woke up, is I liked the 1994 time period that this movie took place in, and I feel like they could have done more with that time period, but there are a few nods and references, and also one bonus to this is, in the screenplay of this movie, within the story, there's no smartphones or laptops or convenient technology. People actually have books and they write down notes to remember things, so I like when movies have that. Modern day movies with smartphones kind of take me out of it. Am I the only one? Okay, let's get back to the movie theater. Oh, and one quick update for you guys. If you guys watched my previous review of The Flash, well, I'm going to start doing reviews at the movie theater, in the auditorium, or in the parking lot, or maybe even in the bathroom, or maybe out back in the dumpster. So wherever it takes place, this is the new style I'm going to do reviews on. Occasionally, I will do sit-down reviews, but I just find talking about movies immediately after watching them, I'm still excited, I'm pumped up, and it sort of reminds me of the good days where you watch a movie with your friend and you talk about it right afterwards. That's just the kind of connection I want to have with you guys. It's much more raw and visceral, and it's more genuine, in my opinion. So anyway, let's get back to the review. Now, here are my final flicking thoughts on Transformers: Rise of the Beast. It feels like another Transformers movie, and if that's what you're paying to go see, that's what you're going to get. It's nothing new. As far as the direction goes, it's sufficient. That's the best way I can describe this movie. It just feels sufficient. Yeah, speaking of getting kicked out, I in fact almost did. Some guy walked in and looked at me weird. So as far as the new Transformers movie goes, I'm going to give it this rating right here. Listen, it's a Transformers movie. If that's what you're paying to see is big CGI robots fight other big CGI robots who happen to be bad, and digital explosions, let's find the light here, that's what you're going to get. But is it a story I'm going to remember in 2 days? Does it have any iconic images or scenery or anything for that matter I'm going to remember in 20 minutes when I get home? No, it doesn't. It just feels like another installment in the Transformers franchise. So I'm going to give it this rating right here. If you guys have seen the movie, let me know what you thought about it down below. Or what's your favorite Transformers movie besides the first one? All right, take care, guys. Make sure you subscribe. That way I can see you next time.